So in today's video, I'm going to answer the big question: are all of these people that are trying to sell you the expensive softwares, all the things that are way too complicated than they need to be, and stuff that just doesn't make sense, is it all a scam? And that thing is called automation. So first, we're going to cover what is automation, how can it be used in your business, and then we're going to go on to answer the question: is it actually a scam or not? So what is automation then? So it's something that saves you from doing a repetitive task, one that you maybe have to do every single day, whether that's sending emails, sending text messages, something along those lines. So that is something that you need to do every day, something that's repetitive that you get quite bored of. How can you use it in your business then? Well, if you run meta ads or any form of ads and you have a form submission, from that you can then contact the prospect once they fill out a form, if that's your preferred method of contact, either by email or by phone. And you can also do this in the Meta app as well. They have a built-in follow-up system, so on Messenger, when you get a message, you can send up a follow-up sequence to automatically send them a reply. And that is a very, very simple, but many people don't realise it, but effective actual automation inside of the Messenger app itself. So you don't need anything complicated or fancy, but we're here to answer the question about the stuff that is complicated. That is, you need to get these teams to build these automations, these workflows for you. At least if you don't have a team, you may need to learn for yourself and actually take some time to learn what it's all about rather than just going into it, because most people do not know what automation is or how to run a workflow, an automation, something like that. So you can use it in your business, like I said, to follow up on emails, to follow up on ad people that have clicked onto your ad, filled out a form, and to go from there. But what can you also do with it? What else can you do with it, and why is it useful? So you can also do it to actually perform actions, whether that's get someone to leave a review for your business, or write something about it and send it back to the automation, where it then asks AI and it sends it all the way back to the person with a response. But that is far more complicated. That is something where you need advanced softwares for. So I won't go into too much detail about that, as I do not have much experience about that sort of field. But automation in itself can be very useful because it saves you doing those repetitive tasks, and it means you don't have to pay an employee if you have like a receptionist or someone that does just the same task that you can automate and make roll out day after day after day, where you don't have to be paying an employee or an assistant or an office worker for that. You can just get it to do its thing, and you can set it to go every day, every week, whether that's send an email, sending invoices, or sending any sort of communication towards a customer, towards a prospect. And that is very useful, because what does it mean? Well, you can also personalize your automation responses, whether that's through email and by phone number. You can do it on phone number, but you need an AI voice assistant on that, which once again includes and becomes a bit more complicated. But you can personalize your automation, so you send it to AI and it comes with a response and then sends it to the prospect, to the person. But like I said, I do not have much experience in the sort of AI automation field, so I can't talk and touch much about that. So yeah, automation is a really, really good thing. And is it a scam? Well, in my personal opinion, no, because it saves you doing tedious tasks, ones that you do every single day. And it just means that if it's running in the background, it can be generating you revenue and profit whilst you're sitting there waiting and doing the more important jobs that you need to do, whether that's if you're a carpenter, fulfilling the job that you got that day, rather than sending the invoice over or sending an email. You can just automate that whole process if you have a standard process to do that. So the only way to use automations if you actually build a standard process for your business, because obviously it can't change every single 2 seconds, because that would mean you'd have to adjust your workflow, which absolutely can be done. But if you're looking to just set it once and leave it, you need to build first a system. So whether that's you contact a client and then generate them a quote and then go out to do the job, then give them the invoice, you need to have a set structure so the automation can follow that. Because if you change the order in which you do things, the automation won't change the order, because you need to do that yourself. Or if you get someone to build your workflows for you, they can do that as well. So having a set order is really important, but to put it shortly and sweetly, automation is not a scam if you use it correctly, and it can be a very, very powerful tool for nurturing leads, contacting people that you need to regularly contact, do tedious tasks that you need to do every single day, and it will save you a lot of time. That is a short video. Thank you very much for watching. Remember to take it one step at a time, and I will see you in the next one.